Welcome, adventurers, to Fables of the Forge.
I'm Bazar.
And I'm Ragnar.
Each week, we delve into the stories that shape heroes and break worlds. Each arc is a legend reforged. Each session is a new chapter in the saga.
Whether you're a dungeon master, a player, or you just love a good story, grab your dice, pour a drink, and join us at the Forge.
This is Fables of the Forge.
Again. Here you see you again. We see you again. We are here. We see you again.
Hey, we saw you again. Congratulations, welcome back. Congratulations, welcome back.
Welcome back, everybody, to Fables of the Forge. I am Ragnar. This is
And Bazar.
Bazar. We are Fables of the Forge.
At some point.
You really should. You really should get that vibrato cooking.
Just have so much fun being a whimsical shit. As if I've never been a whimsical shit before.
What was the question I asked you? Oh, how do you deal?
I was gonna say,
you wrote it down? Good. I'm glad you did. I didn't.
I did.
How do you deal with character deaths, and how do you bring in the new player? Obviously, it depends on like situation, but I want to hear your take.
Okay, so I think we've discussed a little bit previously. So I get attached to my characters within the story.
Oh,
So
wait, you haven't killed a player yet, have you? Oh, shit.
I'm thinking, hold on, because
I've killed countless.
I'm soft as butter whenever it comes to killing characters, because I'm gonna tie it into basically how I write characters out sometimes, or because I've done that several times. I don't know that I've ever killed a character. It's hard to say. I've killed off characters that had plans to be brought back. So like Tanash is kind of one of those big ones. I've talked about him before.
He hasn't had a taste of blood yet. Be thankful. Be very thankful.
Pretty much, because if I ever get I'm like a wolf, man. I'm not gonna mess with the cattle until I get a taste of blood, and then you'll never get me off of it. But what I've normally done, because I've had players be like, "Hey, listen, I'm not able to commit as much time. What would you like to do? Would you like to kill him off?" I'm like, "Nah, not really." If I'm being honest, like
just write him out.
like no matter, I've normally always wrote him out, and I've had 3 write outs, I think, in my time. I'm only thinking of 3. And gracefully, there's a 4th kinda. I always say 4th kinda because they're not gone, and they know they're not gone. In fact, like the player's like, "Hey, I'm getting some time. I might be able to come back." They were always designed to be sort of a drop-in character. But the first one, we tied her backstory into it. Eventually, she left a note that just said, "Hey, I've got I know that things are happening here, but like I've got things going on elsewhere too. And as much as I may love y'all, I need to take care of this." Another one, I mean, I've talked about Tanash plenty, but we killed Tanash and played several sessions without Tanash, and had that player playing as just an NPC that had come in, and his new player, and then he played that for a little bit. I want to say that was clunkier. I remember that being a bit clunky, just because it was so late campaign whenever he died.
Yeah.
That like it bringing back this new person and then having to try to relearn everything with both him and I knowing this isn't permanent it felt a little like
you kind of like detach for a bit there. Hey, like if there isn't like that's the same with me in streaming, for example. Whether like if I can't commit all my hours to it, I detach. You know what I mean? So like same thing. In a similar sense, just with anything in life, really. Like if you can't commit and attach to something, then you kind of just sit back
you don't want to dedicate a lot of time to it, because and with this, what it was is like, and we had fun playing this character and having him be a part of it and making lore, because that character came back and is an NPC in current campaign. And it's always kind of funny because we developed lore from that, where hey, he's kind of the unintentional, he's part of the old party. But recently Um, I think one of the more recent times was a um my buddy, he plays marshals all the time, and I'm
Yep.
looking at you, and
Love
you know that
marshals.
this is not slander. He plays marshals because, and we've talked about it a lot, and he because he finds that playing a marshal is very grounded in, even though my D&D settings are like high fantasy, a marshal will always be something that's relatable to any fantasy setting. You will always have fighters, you will not always have wizards. And so spells and whatnot are,
Yep.
they're cool, they're neat, but a good old piece of cold steel in the hand is just as good. Now, he tried to play an artificer, because he was like, I feel like it could be sort of that I am working
Half and
on
half.
machinations to make a magic. It's
Yep.
not magic, it's this. And just came to find like it, the I don't even call it a problem with artificer. It's just artificer. They are basically still just spellcasters with the hey, my machines do that. You're
Yeah,
still
yeah.
spellcasting though. You're still having to do these things, and you're still making these things do this. And so eventually, he's like, I kind of noticed that he would. I asked him one day, I was like, "Hey, you having fun with him?" And he was like, "Can I be honest with you?" I was like, "I already knew the answer." He's like, "I would so love to play a marshal," and I was like, "Well, we can either transition the artificer into one of the martial styles, which the armorer and whatnot, and or we I mean, we can make him an NPC. He's a really badass artificer. I think he
Yeah.
would make a perfectly fine NPC. And so that's what we ended up doing. And he introduced his like, he kind of was the character Raj was like kind of cowardly as it was. And so he was whenever they were getting ready to go into this next big thing, he was like, guys, I have to be so I don't want to go.
I gotta be so
I
real
want
right
to
now.
stay
I am
here.
terrified. I do not want to go nowhere.
I I'm terrified. I didn't sign up for that.
Yep.
But I will support you in every way that I can. I don't feel safe going back to where I was. Where I am now really works for
I
me.
feel safe. Yep.
I would like to stay here and make weapons and do things for you, but I don't think that I can go with you. And they were
Yeah.
like, that's fine. Makes complete sense. And what we did is the next session, um, new character had been looking for them to try to because he knew that they were like one of the best contacts for the job that he's doing. And so whatever
Yep.
he'd been tracking him for a few days. So that's how we introduced the paladin fighter character of his, um, and so he's had more fun with he always has fun with
With this one.
marshals.
Yeah,
So
cool.
yeah, DEF
So you
I love you.
you say he's
Marshals.
playing the paladin?
He's playing well, I would be more apt to say that he's playing a fighter. 7 levels fighter, 2 levels paladin. Can you guess who has commitment issues?
Defcon?
I'm calling you out.
That's
Somebody
fair.
doesn't wanna swear an oath, huh?
Damn it. Damn it. I mean, yeah, fuck that
I
though.
don't mind it. It's cool
Look,
though, and
I think I think paladin's a pretty good fucking like martial class, right?
yeah.
If you want to go that divine route, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm a fighter man at heart. I'm a fighter and barbarian man at heart.
The new fighter stuff is also
Oh,
excuse me,
the
the
new champion?
2024 fighter
Shh,
stuff.
the new champion stuff,
Oh,
my guy?
and I am
What?
a big fan of fighters because you can dip into fighter with just about any class and feel like it's for those moments where if you're wanting to play something that's like, I am so tired of being ran up on and not being able to do anything about it, pick up a level with fighter.
Two
It will
levels.
help. Like
Minimum. 2 levels
2 levels,
minimum.
2 levels
Action
minimum, and
surge.
you're like, hey, let somebody try. Come put your hands on me.
Brother, sorcerer, fighter.
Yep.
Let me tell you what, action surge to cast another fucking spell and then quicken another one and then maybe twin the first one? Brother.
I don't know if it still works in 2024, but to my understanding, still would run it that way if somebody
I'm still
asked.
running it that way. I don't
Like,
give a fuck about 24 rules.
yeah, because they classify spells as magic actions now rather than I think attack actions in some
Did they? I
regards.
haven't
But
even read that, man.
I I'd need to go back and once again pop in that comment section and be like, actually,
Yeah,
Baz,
if
you're
we're
wrong.
wrong, fucking tell us. Just
Hit
straight
us
up
with it.
tell us.
Debate. well, I wouldn't say a debate. Come and inform us. Talk to us. Because there's a lot of things, like, I've read over the new book a few times, and a lot of the old knowledge I have of 5e and the new knowledge is
Mm,
meshed into this
yeah,
bastardized
I
version of
do agree.
how
I
I'm
do
playing the
agree.
game.
Just a lot in here right now. Yeah,
Yeah,
trying
there's
to
a lot going on.
pinpoint. I do enjoy the what they did with the Wild Heart Barbarian path.
Yeah,
It's a big nerf. It's a big nerf, but it's way more balanced and way more accessible. I also like the Path of the World Tree.
the Path of the World Tree is pretty cool.
A support barbarian? My guy.
Mhm.
Hello?
I like it whenever tropes start getting broken because for a long time the barbarian was always the idiot of the group, and that's the fun of it at first.
Yeah.
I am proud to say that in two of my campaigns, I'll say two. Looking over at my wife who plays one, um, the barbarian in the party in both of the parties, different days of D&D, they're not idiots. Now,
Yep.
vastly different in many regards. Agni is a noble, rich girl. She's ignorant. Yeah, my wife just said she's ignorant, not an idiot. And then
Ignorant.
on Friday, the barbarian, she's the one in charge. She is like she didn't really care about customs and like politics, but that doesn't mean she's not stupid. She doesn't play. She's a bounty hunter. She's like, and so I have a lot of fun watching both of those
Yeah.
with the respective classes being played to where it's like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not the dunk. It's very much
I hate
playing it
that
up in a
trope, man.
different light.
I hate
I
that
love
trope.
I love it as much as I hate it because there are times
Yeah,
where
yeah,
I
yeah,
want to
yeah. Don't get me
play
wrong.
a
Yeah.
very simple character. I don't want to solve all the puzzles. I want to break the
You want to
doors.
be a
I want to
simple-minded beast. Yeah, I get that. And
yeah.
I'm
I'd like
so
to
on
turn my brain
board.
off for a few hours, please.
I am so on board with that, like being able to turn your brain off and stuff like that. But what an interesting thing is like whenever I used to explain, or whenever I do explain, you know, barbarians to new players who are brand new to the TTRPGs genre in general, right? Their idea is like barbarian, oh, doi doi, like okay, and you have like the way that I explain it is
Yeah, that's an option.
just because, yeah, just sigh, just because your intelligence might be low or your dumb stat doesn't mean you're stupid. You may be lacking knowledge in any other path that isn't survival in, in that sort of intelligence, like street smart or
Yeah,
outside smart. Like for example, nowadays with 2024 stuff, if a barbarian has an intelligence of 8 but has the farmer trait, find me another party member that's going to know exactly how to do the fucking like make crops work properly. You know what I'm saying?
right.
That's
Yeah.
still intelligent, but you don't have to act dumb like I can't read.
Like, yeah, it's one of those things like he's not intelligent like hey, you ever read this book? No.
Yeah. To be fair,
It's
if that's how you want to play a barbarian, full send it.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Encourage. Play however you want to play it. Believe me, I just love it when like you said, when tropes get broken. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so funnily enough, I guess like breaking tropes will be today's episode name. But
Yeah, why not?
um
I like it.
but one of the things I like that with barbarians. I've been told by one of my players, I've got so many of them that just came to mind. But one of my
Yeah.
players, she said that she's gonna be playing a pink rogue
Yep.
next campaign. Super excited for that. Just the bubbly jester influenced rogue,
Yep.
where it's
Oh, dude.
very
Fuck
much
yeah.
somebody that's not like edgy, like, oh, both my parents died. Like, no, it's both my parents are very much alive. I have a wonderful, wonderful home.
I have a great family.
I have a great family life. Not me. I love my dad. Like,
I hate mine,
but
but
uh, I have one of those coming. One of an interesting one, and this one was one of those that I played this for one shot, and there's a part of me that wishes that I could have a little bit more stick time with this individual. I played a red dragonborn paladin. Those are the crown.
mm,
It was an evil character. This was like a evil campaign, but it was like evil for good sort of thing. Wicked for
evil
good.
for good.
Seems topical. Seems topical right now for some reason.
Wow. That's yeah.
But
It's crazy.
we they're coming for us. No, but the the mouse is coming. I don't even know if it's a Disney production. I don't think it is, but
It's
I'll just assume the
not.
mouse. They're beating down the doors right now. It's been good, guys. It's been fun. It's been real and it's been
Uh,
fun, but it ain't been real fun.
sorry. Go on.
No, you're good. But whenever I played this evil paladin, one of the things was that we established this kind of like backstory. I was an Oathbreaker paladin, but I had not always been an Oathbreaker paladin. I was an Oath the Crown until the Crown started being very self-serving, and the Crown had been promising these things to my order, and whenever they started becoming too self-serving, he broke his oath to the Crown and became something which I thought this was so fun. He became an Oathbreaker. He was already evil for the Crown, but now he was like evil and had gotten these new powers to then
Oh,
like
that's
rue their
cool.
destruction. It was a lot of fun because playing this evil character, I don't play evil. I really don't allow evil in the party too much. Like you can go chaotic neutral, but if you start acting to the detriment of like the party, like spritz, get out, don't.
Yep.
Um, but like playing this character, he was simply said like he would work with anyone who was working to take down the kingdom.
Yep.
So he meshed really well with the party. He was a bastard. He wasn't kind by any regards, and he was fun to play for a little one shot. I don't know if I would have been able to get in the headspace of him for long term because I
Yeah.
struggle like as with the bubbly personality that I have. I struggle to play like a mean, cruel bastard. Like I want to play somebody who's happy or friendly at the very least because that's me, baby. I'm a happy, friendly guy.
That's me.
So, but yeah, you haven't. Do you have any trope breakers like that? I mean, I know you've talked about Kratos before, kind of
Yeah.
being uh, the father figure rather than the dumbass of the party.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
No, you were 100% right. You were 100% right. Kratos being my trope breaker for sure, which is like my first ever character, really, too. Oh, not really. My first ever character, I don't really count. His name was Clovis, and he was pre made for me. And the most that I
fair.
did was kick down a
I
door and fight an owlbear.
I sort of
That was
consider
that.
my first to be the same way. So
Yep. I don't consider him a first. But yeah, Kratos, definitely. The whole trope of like barbarians being dumb and just rage filled, purely rage filled. Whereas Kratos allowed growth and intelligence in the same boat. So obviously his rage kind of filled him up for a long, long time. But then by the time we started playing, he was already aged. Like he was in his 40s. He had control over his rage where he used it as a weapon rather than as, let it control him kind of deal. Um, yeah, I think I think that was my big trope breaker. And that was really fun being able to play that. Like being able to play this, like I have a secret weapon kind of deal, and my weapon is my anger was really,
right.
really cool. And being able to hide it properly instead of just being like, because you know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm so angry.
Yeah. Like there was moments like when we did combat, it wasn't like I would never, don't hate me. I would never be like, I rage on the first turn.
That's fair.
Never. I would never do it. And it was purely for narrative, like purely for the story. But like I would never
Yeah,
rage on the
need a
first time
reason.
until like I saw, yeah, I need a reason. Until I saw like my teammate get knocked to the ground and then shit kind of like started to spark
Right.
up. And then like the way that would explain it is like my eyes begin to like sort of emit this sort of heat with a red faint glow on the outside with the crimson. Um, and the grip, my grip on my axe gets a little bit tighter as I get further forward, and then that would play into that combat because then the people in front of me would start to see like veins starting to pop out of my fucking neck and my forehead,
Yeah.
and it was just like, oh shit. And then the intimidation factor comes into play, and then I would rage, and it would just make
Right.
the whole thing so much better. The whole
Yep.
thing. So
I
my tip to you barbarians out there is don't rage on the first try unless you're trying to min max and try and do that TDM. Don't rage on the first fucking round of combat. Let it sit and let it fester because I promise you that your DM, if he's a good DM, will play off of that. I promise you.
Yep.
If he or she is a
Yep.
good DM. Sorry.
I I will have to say similarly, both barbarians in both campaigns. Um, I feel like perhaps Agni, my wife character, she will normally, but she wants that reason to rage
Yeah. Yeah, you
first. She
need it.
doesn't want
Yeah.
just she wants a narrative reason, and
Yep.
similar to Isolde, which on Fridays, Isolde, she she's someone who is like, because she's normally the leader,
Yeah.
she keeps her cool. But if you fuck with her people because she has family
Yeah.
trauma
Y-
in character,
Give yourself
if
like
you
a
mess with
second phase. Give
yep,
yourself a
it's
second phase. Bro, literally.
yep,
Like bosses get second and third phases. Give yourself that second phase, man. Like that is
yep,
it, literally. Now you've got a secondary health bar that the enemy has to try and beat down, basically, right? Because you're
right,
taking half
right.
damage here. Just build it. Build it. God, I
Yeah,
get so pumped up.
absolutely.
Can you tell I fucking love barbarians?
I love barbarians for the same reason. So, one sec.
You're good. Back.
Um,
Short
trying to
interval. I
think.
apologize. Barbarians,
Well,
tropes.
barbarian tropes. I'm trying to think of any other ones. I think one of my first characters I played was a cleric named Dormand. And I
Mhm.
played him instead of doing the holy, religiously devout cleric. He one sec. Sorry.
Boop. Go.
Rather than being a devout cleric, um, he was someone who was very practical with it, where he realized, hey, he was a city guard and then city watch, or vice versa,
Hmm.
um, and worked for the was a soldier and then was basically a cop in D&D,
Yep.
and was like, I find a deeper, better service for me is being able to take care of people. And so I just played him as battlefield medic, who was
Oh,
like,
hell
"Oh,
yeah.
thank Kelivor." And there were better classes and better ways to do that. I came to find out one of the somebody probably will know it, but there was a rogue that you can kind of do where the rogue has the ability to kind of I want to say maybe thief or something else where they have the ability to use something as like a bonus action.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so you could do stabilizations and healers kits and potions. That was the better one. That had not been explained to me yet. So I just played him. I played my cleric like a battlefield medic. And that was fun.
Well, I mean, what's a
Um
war cleric? War domain.
yeah, war domain. I think Dorman was flat out life domain cleric of Kellenvor, which
Oh.
is, if you know anything about Kellenvor, very odd choice for me, but I liked it. So
Hey, if it worked, man.
uh
If it worked, it worked. Put it that way.
I had a
Can't
lot.
complain about it.
He's my only character. He's one of my only characters that's ever died. Died in the Underdark. So,
Oh.
um,
Ooh.
yeah, but
Ooh.
he taught me a lot how to play the game.
Oh, yeah, that's
But
always good. The fact that you've had
I'm
more
trying to
than
think.
two characters is great to me.
Oh, dude, there's been so many of them where like most of the time it's like little one-offs because I love DMing.
Yeah.
It's really is my I like to think of it as like my entertainment call
Yep.
to so
Man,
but
I want to be a
I
player
played
again
a
so bad.
I know. I'm looking forward. So when we finish the Friday campaign that I DM for, when we finish that, my best friend's already like, "Hey, I'm going to be picking back up on the campaign we were playing before. We're just going to pick up right where we left off." I'm like, "I am down for that. I love the
Oh
ASMR
yeah.
cleric that I play for that. I play a very traditional ASMR cleric,
Hmm.
fallen ASMR um, who I love to pieces. I've talked about him on stream.
Yep.
He's one of my favorite characters just because of how much time I've spent just developing him,
Just building him.
and
Yeah.
little things about him, just building him. He's a lot of fun and easy to get along with. Is cool,
Yep.
calm, and collected, but I've got so many character ideas, of course, as we always do, and I don't even want to. Some of these character ideas I don't want to introduce as an NPC. I want to play them. I want to build them out in a character sheet and play them. I don't want an NPC version of them. I want to play this person. I want to live as them. Um, but
That
yeah,
was me with Booker.
yeah, dude, I even getting a little bit of sick time DMing for Booker. I was like, this is a fun character. And I always like that. I like whenever as a
Mhm.
DM especially when you start working with parties, you get further into it. So like for first time listeners, like please don't put yourself to to the rack like this. This is the skills it takes to live, develop, and make a character like this will not
Yeah.
come in your first D&D campaign. You may develop it through your first D&D
No.
campaign,
Nope.
but you will figure out like getting into their mindsets, working what kind of trope you want to play, making sure that trope works for this like the setting that you're in.
Yep.
And then one of the I think the biggest thing whenever it comes to that is being human with them, even if they're not human. Be mortal is how I always say it.
Yeah.
Is
Just
if
yep.
being be be able to embrace change, be able to interact with scenarios with an open mind as a player, and then also with your character. Maybe yes, my character would always do this, but do you as a human being always react to the same thing the same time, like every time you run into it? If you do, hey, damn, good for you.
Yeah.
I
Literally.
know that every day is a mixed bag for me. I know that I have a very first like
The important
reaction
thing,
first.
empathy, just in general,
Yeah,
empathy and understanding. Not just that's a name. That's a name of a person. But have empathy. Empathy is a big one, I think. If you want to
mhm,
make them human, because that's what makes us human is empathy. You know what I mean? Damn, hitting
I
you with
completely
fucking
agree.
with the hard
I
shit.
like it. Like,
But yeah,
I dig it because especially like, okay, do you want to play a character that struggles with that? Beautiful. Like
yeah,
absolutely beautiful. Add the struggle of like one of the ways that I've always done that with my characters is struggling to want to help in a way, but that not coming as like oh, he's an asshole and he doesn't want to help.
yeah,
No, I want to help, but I think you're an idiot and you can't help yourself. So how am I to help you? Like,
yeah,
yeah, I've played a drow like that at one point and still play him. And I've had so much fun where we started out, he was a jerk because he
hmm,
comes from a different culture up north. And he believes that everyone down south from that were like selfish and did not know the weight of their sacrifices up in the north.
yep,
Which is true. They didn't. The people didn't know what was going on up there. And he's like, every day is slaughter for us. And you don't know what's going on. Like, and playing him from that to several years of playing him now where he is someone who is healed a bit from that, lost a lot more, but has went, it's not their fault, they don't know. I have been given the tools to help make the change that I wished for.
yeah,
And now he tries his best to be kind because he understands like, yeah, I was rough and tumble because that was what life was up there, but I'm not up
yeah,
there anymore. I'm here now, and I have a choice to make each day. I like playing characters like that,
dude,
because at
so
first,
good,
dude, I
so
talked to the
good.
DM. I was like, I talked to the DM and be like, man, I got to figure out something. I'm getting in his headspace, and I do not like it. I'm in a rough spot, having to get into this dude's mind, and just, I mean, I get really into it too, though. Like whenever
Me
I
too.
would I would write out little journal entries, of his opinions on things, and it was never
Dude,
good. He never had
me
good
too, bro.
opinions.
I've got books and I've got journals and journals and journals full of all that kind of stuff. But like of just of my
Yep.
NPCs because I don't get to play characters. So I used to do it for the NPCs as well. And there was
Mhm.
like there's this one character that I made that I turned into an NPC because I really wanted him just to be in one of the worlds. And there was a campaign that I ran called the Mist of Orcus.
Ooh.
That was a very, very, very good campaign. Very, very good campaign. One of my first that I ever written, and it took me 3 years to write it, like to have
Mm.
it the whole thing fleshed out. Um,
Ooh.
yeah, it was a big one. It was a big one.
Professor Highbrow over here finishing out his campaign, knowing exactly what he wants out of his campaign. Ooh.
Yeah, well,
That'll be
not
a topic for a
finishing,
different episode.
not
Oh, okay.
finishing it. It was just like finishing the plots and like the direction of things.
Mhm.
That's what the writing for it was like. But when I say write it out for 3 years, I mean I was writing out every plot, every NPC, every direction that I could attempt to guess, and then I continue writing it while the campaign was going, like just so on and so forth. But there was a character in it. In that campaign, they had the party members who were all chosen by what's called members of the Watch. And the Watch are these protectors of the realm, protectors of the city. This massive, massive city that covered like 40% of the continent. Random homebrew
Right.
continent that I made. Didn't even have a name for the continent, but I had a name for everything else. It was really interesting. One of my first things ever written. And the Watchers were. It was just as the Paladin Oath came out for the Watchers, Oath of the Watchers, supernatural, protectors.
Ooh.
But it was before I even knew about that class, that subclass.
Funny how
And
that
I made
happens,
these. Yeah, it's interesting. I made it, and all of them were Dragonborn, every single one of them, and they were all worshipped. They all worshipped Bahamut, the platinum dragon. But there was one character that I made who was the leader of them all, and he was a paladin fighter named Belkin. And he was one of the only dragonborn to still have wings and a tail. This is long before like the theories of like they can have either a tail or this, whatever. He had both. And he had this stigma like this, like even though he wasn't a barbarian, but he had this rage beneath him. That's where his divine smites would come from, were his rage.
Ooh.
Right? And like that's how that would work. Like his burning smite, searing smite, like all that kind of stuff, thunderous smite, all of that came from him as and his anger and his rage when it was able to be let loose. And I played him as if, everybody has only ever seen the angry side of him, but no one gets to see the other side of him. No one. And that's not a choice from him. That's just because the only time that he's able to be seen is when he's fighting. That's the only time they ever get to see him. Not when he's sitting down and crying in front of a fireplace. Not when he's showing that weakness. And that's not him hiding it. That's just because he hasn't had the chance to show it. And when the players were able to finally see that side of him for the first time, they were like, whoa.
You good? Hey, buddy. Yikes.
Like, whoa. Because he was, the idea behind him, about to get real sad boy on you, he was super depressed, which is where a lot of his anger came from. Depressed, but because one by one he was losing members of the Watch. They were all dying to this greater enemy, right? And then on top of that, he lost his axes, and his axes felt like where his power came from. So it all just added up. I kind of got to this point where like he broke down and his rage turned into something else, and Bahamut took him and like sit by my side for now, kind of thing. Let them do it. In other words, the party. They are now the Watch for right now. Until one moment, like, throughout the campaign, they get to the end and they're fighting Orcus, and then he comes flying down on this like shining bolt of light, and he helps the party fight Orcus. It was a badass moment.
Yeah.
And then for the first time, like he turns to them and says like the I guess words that aren't orders, and he's like with a calm voice, because normally he would talk like this, like he would have this sort of deep guttural voice, but instead he was like, "I'm with you on your lead," and like that was that moment where like they realize, oh shit, like he doesn't think with rage, he's thinks. I think there, and then after that fight happened, there was the point where they realized, like I said, that he was very approachable at the end of it, where like there's no more to fight. Like we can rest, at least for now. We can rest. And then they just bombarded him with questions and questions and questions and questions. That trope was the best. That trope was the best. Because like I made sure that they weren't able to talk to him, to have a conversation with him. Because he was the leader of the Watchers, but all he would do is bark orders and then fuck off. Right?
Yep.
And they tried to talk to him like, Belkin, you need to listen. And he's like, fuck off.
Go away.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, go away. I have about 1 million things to deal with right now, and you are not one of them.
I love busy people in D&D campaigns, because a lot of the times, one of the best ways you can turn something on its head is whenever you have a party they're used to being main characters as they are the main characters of the story.
Yep.
And then them meeting somebody who is like, I, with all the love in my heart, tell you, I don't care. You don't rank up. I have a list of things. I have a list.
You are not on that list.
A list. There's whale poop, and then there's you.
You're not even on the list. Just stop. Like that was the same with Booker. to start off
try to
with.
get on the list.
Yeah, literally. That was the same with Booker as well. It's just like there was this like he's a very busy man. He's running the underground. He's doing all this stuff. I'd imagine it was the same as name
Lucian.
hit me. Lucian. Thank you. I was like,
Lucian?
I almost said Lucifer for some reason. Lucian.
Well, I've always played him with like that, like sort of like
Man,
devilish little grin.
when I hear Lucian and you talk about him, I think Lucifer from Hazbin Hotel.
I've never watched Hazbin Hotel. Shoot me. But
Wow. First of all, you need to go on.
I know, but but I've always played him as just I know what gets on my party's nerves or what gets on my friends' nerves, which is playing somebody who's just an arrogant shit. Playing somebody who knows they're right, and then with Lucian,
there's literally a song about Lucifer going like, "I'm the serpent, I'm the shit, like I'm the shit. This is me. I am the king of hell, motherfucker." Like, bow down. That's kind of like what his thing is, and no one can say anything because it's true. That's what he the fuck is. You know what I mean?
What's funny is with time they love Lucian now, because at first Lucian was their first loss in a fight. Lucian escaped, and then they went and hunted him down, and they failed. So he was a mark of failure on the first party.
Yeah.
And what that's turned into is now just he is someone who came to them and was like, "Hey, we all have our parts to play. You have yours, I have mine." Their first like peek behind the curtain for a second was like, is he actually evil? I mean, he's got us kidnapped, tied to our chairs in our dining room, and is eating our food in front of us because they had just gotten food made for dinner that night, and and like he was sitting there with them tied to their chairs and was eating one of their steaks and was like, "This is wonderful." And they're like, "I hate you, you son of a bitch." But and that was like the word. Every word out of their mouth normally started with, "Hey, Lucian, you son of a bitch." But later on, whenever Lucian started like involving them more with his schemes, so to speak, but more so the fact that he's like, "Hey, I am a good guy on the bad side of these things, and I maintain the badness." They were like, "Okay, Lucian's necessary. He's a necessary evil. We will no longer even pursue him." And that has kept changing throughout
Yeah.
time, where you got to meet him, and he was, as I've always played him, somebody's like, "Hey, listen,
The dynamic
rather
changes.
than me like give you some stone shoes in a deep lake, why don't we work together?" Because you're really good, and he sees that potential in people.
Yeah.
And now that he has in current campaign, he's got a pardon. He got a pardon for his actions in the last campaign, and so he is a changed man. He no longer runs the Ruby Eye Gang, despite them not changing their name.
I
It is
remember
still the
this.
Ruby Eyes. It's one of my favorite things where he is so heavenly watched by like every criminal investigator in my setting. Just like, I know it. Insert the Dexter meme. It's just like them
I
staring
know
through
he's
the car
doing some
windows.
shit. I know it.
I just can't prove it. And and I'm so excited because he'll be one of the NPCs they get to interact with actually tomorrow again, because he figured out that one of the players is his nephew, quotation marks, big quotation marks.
Oh.
Because the party, he called the party his best friends. Well, he just figured out that somebody in the party or somebody in the new party is the son of Tanash. And he's like, "I'm your uncle."
I'm your uncle. Oh
Oh god.
no.
So
Oh
and you got to
no.
think like this was a villain in my last campaign who's now just slowly but surely devolved into I'm not doing any harm.
I'm just a lowly old gentleman. One
I'm
second.
just play your rogues like that. You don't have to be edgy. You can be funny like Lucian. Lucian where Ragnar's met Lucian like in
Love
character.
him.
And well he's just me in a lot of ways. But it's
He really
me
is
with
just you. I'm
the
not gonna lie.
he is just a lot of me. I think if like that might be why I love him. I'm
In
gonna
the
need
best
to get
way.
that looked at. I'm gonna need to shrink to look at that one.
Oh
um,
man. There's I don't know. I because I don't get to play characters so often, I like to make them NPCs. And then, play alongside with them. And I asked to be very clear, I asked my players before, beforehand. If I like, I have this character that I never got to play as a player. Would you be opposed to having this guy as an NPC, like having a character as
That's
an
cool.
NPC to follow alongside with you? The idea is that I would actually get to play with you.
Mhm.
He wouldn't
Yeah,
get any
alongside.
special treatment. Like it would be the same
Yeah.
thing.
In fact, I'm gonna hit him harder because I know exactly what he can take.
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much. And they every time they always say yes. And like at this stage now, it's like I'll always ask before every campaign, hey, would it be cool if Kratos existed in this campaign setting? And the answers are always yes. Like it's great now because by the end of everybody understands that Kratos is now a god, so he
Mhm.
exists. So now, whenever I say that, there's a cleric in the party that goes, "Can I choose Kratos?"
No kidding.
Yeah,
Just to
yeah,
just to have yeah, that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
That's cool. It's cool as hell.
there is I'm trying to think. I don't think that I could do that because I myself struggle with DMPCs a little bit. Not struggle in a bad way. They're always
The
around. I always
NPCs?
have them. Yeah. So like it's well, and they're all DMPCs, I suppose, but it is
Oh,
someone that
DMPCs.
yeah, yeah, like
Right,
the,
right, right, right.
the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I always have one in some regard or another, and right now the current DMPC is a he is the brother of one of the party members. He's the dragon, but he's the brother because his brother's half dragon.
Yeah.
But he's younger. He's 17, 18. And he doesn't understand the whole being human thing. So he was like, "Hey, we had this last session. It was a really fun conversation because the party it was so cool. I wanted them to like him, but you know you cannot predict what your party will like. I can predict what my party will hate, but I can the
Mm.
liking part is always a bit difficult unless I give them a child, an older person, or like someone that's just so damn sweet.
Yeah.
So I put a lot of. I mean, me and my best friend are brothers, and I always tell him that the dude's my brother. So we can play siblings really well because we basically were siblings for a long time growing up.
Yeah. It makes it
So
easy.
he and yeah, super easy because we can be antagonistic to each other and it be like it's not, oh,
Progressive, not
they're
just
enemies. Yeah.
yeah.
So playing these brothers, he's the NPC that I'm playing, but he's like I don't know what level monk, but he's really high level monk compared to his brother who's not high level because he's lived his whole life in a monastery and he's a dragon. There's double weirdness there.
Yeah.
But what I'm having fun with is that the party, whenever they were getting ready to leave this place, and this place is across the country, they were like they're going through a teleportation, and they were like everybody's giving their goodbyes and stuff, and at one point, the barbarian, which I loved this because they were all so nervous because they're like, "Man, we really like Danny. I wonder if like, do y'all think that Danny's gonna come with us?" And it's like, I don't know, man. He's really like he's grown up here. His parents are both here. Like he has no really reason. Like he's got a place here. And at one point, he sold the barbarian who doesn't love people. Like she didn't like people. She plays a very much like I don't like people. She gives him a
Mhm.
hug and she says, "If you're ever looking for a place to go, like you have a place amongst us." And
Hey. Yeah, cool.
he was sitting there thinking about it. And what was funny is what they didn't know is that like his dad was like, yeah, he's in the other room. Like, I think he may be getting something ready for you or something. I didn't pay too close attention. I just told him to come say his goodbyes. And what he didn't know is he was packing a bag. So he's throwing all of his shit in a bag. But the party was all like, um, they were all like, "Hey, listen, you've been, and we may have not gotten off on the right terms, but you're good. We like you." And so that was what I genuinely sat there and I was like, even if I was planning to not, because I was going to send him with them as like
Yeah.
this is going to be a really fun little like, oh, hiccup. But the fact that they welcomed him before because they were afraid that I wouldn't. And for a second, I considered like if they were like, hey, maybe your place is here. I think I would have probably went, maybe they're right, and let that NPC stay. I'm fluid with my NPCs and my
Yeah, yeah.
stories and stuff like that.
100%.
But the
Yep.
fact that they were so welcoming to that NPC, now I get to play him, and my original point is I struggle because sometimes it really does come down to I'm so focused on the party that I forget to focus on the guy that I'm playing. And so
Yeah.
I'm like over here, like, what's everybody doing? What's everybody doing? And then everybody's like, oh, in a really bad way, like, hey, what's Danny doing? And I go, shit, you would have had so much to say about the situation. I just forgot. So, what do you do? How do you manage that? Do you just kinda keep like
Um,
a Post-it note that just says, "Hey, play your character"?
so no, what I do is I write down like while the party's doing their thing. Obviously, the NPC wants to do their thing, but I won't ever outshine. Like I won't ever try to outshine. So it's like a even
Absolutely.
if it's something that he would speak on, for example, I wouldn't let him speak on it. Not straight away. I'd let the party do their thing. I would write down notes. Like I write down notes of like things that he wants to say, in general, and then once the party comes over or they ask him for an opinion, he's got it. You know what I mean? Like it's there.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think about this? Well, XYZ.
One of
Then
the
you don't have to
ways
think
that
about it because you've got it all here pretty much, and just like, oh shit, oh sorry, yeah. Basically, then you don't have to think about it
Oh,
because it's
yeah.
all you've got it all down. So
One of the ways that I did that with a previous character, funnily enough, both named Danny, and it is because Danny, the present Danny, is named after the last campaign Danny,
yeah,
because of his actions. So lots of fun there, a lot of little tiebacks to my lore and stuff.
hmm
But past Danny was a soldier. He was leader of a mercenary company, and they were guards at the manor. And the way that I would do that, because you talking about it's kind of jogged my memory of how I used to do it. Because he was a soldier first and then became a mercenary, he was the mercenary captain of these people. He normally is like duty first. You know, he's going to do his job.
yep,
And whenever the party needed advice or something, or they're like, "Hey, we need to get the conquest walkers to do this thing," um, let's consult Danny and be like, he'd be like, "Permission to speak freely." Just like, that's the and
yeah,
they would be like, "Of course, yeah, please," and he'd be like, and they'd always say, "You're welcome to say whatever." He's like, "Yeah, I understand that, but until I tell you something you don't wanna hear, and then in which case you'll tell me to shut up." And he's like, "Well, we wouldn't do that." It's like, "Yeah, all my employers do." Like, because insinuating he's plenty opinionated about situations going on,
mm,
but he keeps it to himself because he knows, like, I can find a way to make whatever they want to happen normally work. But if they want my advice, I'll give it. So that's clever. I like that,
yep,
writing notes because I would keep them contained and make them go to Danny for those things. Um, so I like that. I wrote it
yep.
down. Was like, hey, start doing that shit
Look,
again because
honestly, especially if it's something that's going to help you progress the story forward, like forward. If they're talking about something really important, and you can kind of see them drifting off in a different direction, but like they can go that direction, sure, but you don't want them to
yeah,
entirely.
absolutely,
Obviously, you want them to be kind of okay, come back over here for a second. And then you
yeah,
can kind of like think of a thing while they're talking. You've got it written down, and you're just listening at the same time, and be like, okay, so this is what was going on, and then just kind of multitask, like left to right brain kind of thing, left hand right
yeah,
hand kind of deal, which isn't really easy, but you pick it up pretty quickly over time, especially with I think as a DM you would be picking up pretty quickly because you do about 50,000
oh
things
yeah,
in one go anyway. So
yeah,
like at
yeah.
all times,
That
pretty
is
much I'm planning what the party's doing, what
yep.
Booker is doing, what the NPCs are doing all around him, what's happening to the world around
Ooh-wee.
them, all in the same fucking few seconds. Just like if an event happens, this now happens here, 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 here. Like just you know what I mean? Big thing.
Your brain's a
But
magic engine.
literally just a magic engine. You know what I'm going to say?
What?
Can you believe it's already been 50 minutes?
Oh my goodness, really?
Yeah.
Wow. See, this is what happens. We limit ourselves for the betterment of the podcast episodes, and like all we'll. I told Locke, he's like, "We're gonna do 2 episodes." I'm like, "Easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. I got this. I could sit there and by myself talk that entire time."
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
probably
no.
have. We'll probably go back over this like, "Hey, Locke, Locke's about, hey, Baz, can I get a word in?"
No, not at all. I think we got it pretty even. I think we
I
got it
think
pretty
we do
even.
too.
I was talking about my campaign last episode, so this you talking about your campaign this episode.
Well, I mean,
I love it.
I think the beauty of this is that we can sit here and
Just do
just
whatever we want.
discuss. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that too. No structure. We agreed before we ever started this, like, hey, you let's not put ourselves in a box because it's
Yeah.
obvious we're gonna poke enough holes in it to to escape.
Yep. Yep. The whole idea is to like not put any restrictions on it. We talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about it. Obviously D&D and TTRPG related and story
Right.
narrative related big time. Because at the end of the day, Baz and I are storytellers
Yep.
in the
I
finest
tell
scale of
you
things.
one of the things that I like to keep into consideration, and one of the things that I want to ask you as listeners, you know, one of the things we wanted to touch on last episode, and then also with this, talking about breaking tropes and stuff.
Mm,
What are some of the tropes that you have broken? What are some of the things that you see, like active tropes breaking, or even in your own characters, breaking a trope, or slipping into something that is similar or akin to moving away from what your original ideas were, and
mm.
also helpful tips. What do you need help with? What Yeah, and that's not always the easiest question to answer, because more often than not we don't know what we need to work on, and so there are
Until you need it.
moments where, like,
Yeah.
even when, well, I'll talk about, sit or talk about it, and then I write it down in my journal, because, like, just mentioning some of these things, I forget that I need to work on some of that stuff.
Yeah.
um and so, but if there are things that you're like, hey, I don't know how best to do this, please let us know, whether
Yeah.
in the Discord, whether in the comment sections of wherever you find these. Like, we want to know, we want to help, we want to talk about those things, because while this, we're not limiting ourselves, one of the things that Ragnar and I absolutely love to do is, man, you want to talk about the thing that'll get me jazzed up more than anything? Come into my stream and ask me if ask me to look at your new character. Ask me to help you build a new character.
Yep.
Man, I don't get to play as it is enough, so I'm 10 toes down, ready to help you, like,
Hmm.
develop whatever you're wanting to do with your character.
Yep.
Like, nothing brings us
100%.
greater joy than helping.
Truthfully, honestly, I could not be said any differently. Like that is literally it. We just let us get involved. We want to be involved everywhere that has Dungeons and Dragons, that has TTRPG, that has storytelling, narrative. Like, I love it. And um, as of recently, I've been doing a little bit of like voice acting stuff to tell my stories as well, which is what's on YouTube
Mhm.
and all that, and TikTok for Fables of the Forge. Which I'm doing the finale episode for the actual Fables of the Forge story pretty soon.
That's crazy. I didn't know
Yeah,
that that was, I didn't know y'all been playing that long, so that's very
you're no,
sweet
this is
and
just
lovely.
me. This is just me.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. I've got 2 episodes up right now, and the third one is coming very soon. It's just a like a quick little maybe 5 minute thing. No, sorry, like 15-minute thing. Sorry, each episode.
Yeah,
It's pretty good. But yeah,
that's cool.
that's
I
it.
love that.
That's what we got time for today. Awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for listening. And like Baz said, leave a comment. Ask questions. Give your tips. Give your heads ups. Yeah, please, by all means. We love reading this kind of stuff.
Yes. But it gives us your opinions, fundamentally shape everything we do, and I will lie to myself and say that your opinions don't matter, but no, no, I kid. Um, no, but your feedback lets us know what to keep touching on, and what to help with, or what to dive in
Indeed.
on, because I guarantee, I know for without a shadow of a doubt, we could sit here and just talk about D&D for hours, and you would probably love that. But we want to make this something that is useful, that you can listen to and enjoy, and also go, you know what, I think that's a really good idea, let me try that.
I
Because
agree.
if you're enriching your table, if you're enriching your characters, if you're enriching your DM skills, and you're sharing those with us, we're also doing it.
I
So
agree.
thanks a lot.
I absolutely agree. Um, I would like to give a huge shout out to our patrons as well. Just to be clear. Um, Coma of Sock, you know who you are, Coma. Ziggy,
Come on.
Pricey
Ziggy.
Gaming, Cookie Saurus.
Price
I appreciate you
gaming.
guys. Thank you, thank
Cookie.
you, thank you, thank you for your pledges on Patreon. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it. If you want to pledge on Patreon, you can. It just helps support us. Gets us some new gear. We're looking at trying to get Baz a new microphone as well. Eyebrow raise. Oh
Agreed.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Christmas
yeah.
is coming.
Definitely. it- Listen, it could be better. This may not be a perfect production, but it could be. With your help
It
and your love,
could be. But yeah.
it start
Uh
in the arms of the angel. For $5
Alternatively,
a month.
I turn off. Additionally, we have I have my start playing um profile up as well. If you want to check me out on there, if you want to hire me as a DM, you can do that. That's a thing. That is a thing that you
He's
can do.
good.
Stop it, you. And then anything else? Anything else? I think that's it.
Um, follow us on our socials, follow us on our live streams every once in a while. Today we caught a lucky Ragnar stream, and I'm not gonna even lie, that shit made my day. But I stream. I try to stream at least now 2 times a week. But pretty much the same shindig happens there. And if you come in there and asking D&D questions, I'm gonna sit there and talk about them. So
Yep.
that's one of the niche ways of getting some free content out of me. I'm like a content pinata when it comes to D&D. If you just want to come in there and ask me questions, same thing for Ragnar. I know Ragnar with his new
I'll never
schedule,
turn it
he's not
away.
always available. But
Yep.
if he is streaming, go in there and ask him questions. Go and then join our
I won't
Discord.
shut up.
I
I won't
think
shut up.
I know I
won't shut
won't
up.
either. Like we've been trying to end this episode for like 10 minutes now.
We have been. You're right. Damn. Damn.
But no, I think that's it. Really, it's just follow us.
Yeah.
Stay in the loop. We've always got big things going on. And then within the big things, we also have fun little things, ways that you can be involved in the communities that we're establishing. I mean, if you join Locks, start playing stuff. I know.
Dune
I know. I was just
RP.
thinking about that.
Dune.
Yep.
Folks, we have a Dune RP server, Dune Awakening. If you love the Dune universe and you love RP role playing, you want to play D&D, I'm pretty much running this server as a DM, but you guys are just playing out your own lives with a bit of a plot sort of thing, and it's running in seasons. We're currently in the first season, so if you want to be part of it, join the Discord, do the thing. It's gonna be so worth it. I promise. We're gonna have so much fun with it.
I'm gonna go on a tangent real quick, real fast.
Send it.
One of the things that I've loved about doing D&D is like getting to play your character, getting to do those things. I got into the RP scene a few years ago whenever I started doing Red M RP, Bandera County, I love you. And but one of the things that I found in that was that it let me spend a lot of time making a character, playing the character, and getting to do stuff. And granted, it's in a different environment, but it teaches you how to role play in a way where you're like, oh, I don't want to mess up. Don't worry. Like we're very beginner friendly. Locks teach me how to play the game as we're playing this together and also role playing a little bit. And last night I got on for the first time I've ever played, and just I had a great time just role playing a character. Not really. I'm reading Dune now. I'm getting ready to watch the movies soon. So like, if you're like, I don't know much about Dune, but that sounds awesome. Come on, like, let us be your first introduction. I don't care.
Yep. 100%. Because we're not sticking straight to the source books. Like we are very much so straying away from it. But in the same universe. So it's cool as hell. It's fun. But that's it though. That's it. I'll make sure to put the link in the bio for it. That's it though. Stay safe, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Thank you for tuning in. And we will catch you next week. Well, no, not next week. 2 weeks from now. To catch up.
Okay.
Yeah. But we've got this one and the one before this one, which was done both today because we missed one last week. So we're going to play catch up.
Yep.
We're here. Indeed. All right, guys. Take care, everybody. I'm Ragnar.
I'm Bazar.
And we'll see you guys next episode. Peace.